Giant FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
You know, hearing that forecast just makes you feel like you're in Florida.
No white Christmas this year.
No white Christmas. It is time for the First Federal program here on Giant FM. And our host today is Tom Van Sickle.
Thank you very much. Christmas time's here, so it doesn't have to be a white Christmas. That'd still be Christmas, right?
Exactly. We've got Christmas music playing throughout downtown. Trees are up. Decorations are up. It feels like Christmas, even if it doesn't feel like Christmas.
Yeah, we just kind of started the show before the weather with Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, and snuck in some Jingle Bell Rock there, too.
Oh, that's not true, yeah. I was just thinking about Feliz Navidad. That's a great song.
Yes, yes
so,
it is.
Winter solstice was yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Shortest day of the year.
Yeah, we're going to start getting more daylight. I'm excited.
That's great daylight, too. The sun's on the horizon, so to speak. You know that sunrise will be before 8 o'clock and after 6 o'clock on February 3rd. That's when those magic hours happen. So,
wow.
Sun will rise before 8 o'clock on February 3rd and after, so it'll set after 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So that's, seems like a long way away, but we're getting more sun.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Christmas time is here.
Yes.
Happiness and cheer. Carols everywhere. It's kind of a pre-trivia question. Do you recognize what that's from?
No.
If I say Lee Mendelson, does that help you? How about Vince Guaraldi?
Okay. A little bit.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah.
It's Christmas time is here.
Yeah.
I just thought that's kind of a pre-trivia question. Morning, Tanner. Welcome today.
Thank you.
It is Christmas weekend. Great time to celebrate with family, friends, share your blessings with others. If you're traveling anywhere, have a great Christmas weekend. You can be across town or many miles, but just be safe and have happy holidays.
Yes.
So we wish for everybody today. So we do have some Christmas trivia to start with.
All right, let's do it.
Has to do with another song, actually.
Okay. I've only heard, like 888 of these, so.
You've probably heard all of these.
Yeah.
Maybe yesterday, even.
Maybe this
Possibly.
morning.
So, Tanner, you found the question. Where did it come from?
Yes, came from Google.
Google, okay. So,
All right.
we know it's
Didn't
right.
have to go depth into that there.
No.
We know it's right. So, what Christmas song was the only chart topper until Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You in 2019? Do you like that song, Mariah Carey?
No, I don't like it.
I think I remember us talking about that one time.
Yeah, she has thought out.
Okay.
She's the Christmas queen, but that's a song I could go.
So that was obviously a chart topper.
Yeah.
The options for the other one was Christmas Don't Be Late, the Chipmunk song, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Jingle Bell Rock, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. Any guesses?
No.
I think he needs the whole show to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to need the whole show.
Now
to
you're
think about that.
singing those songs in
Yeah.
your mind.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at charts and hope that I can pull something out.
No clues here.
No. Could have done guest related. That would help me
Could
out.
have.
So Tanner's trying to pull a hard one on you here. So,
It's my Christmas gift to Paul.
yeah.
No, it should be easy then. Jeez.
Tanner, you want to highlight sports?
Sure, yeah. Interesting time of year with sports. Everything's not everything. NFL's really winding down.
Yeah.
3 weeks left, but I haven't seen a playoff race like this in a long time where you have a lot of teams, especially in the AFC, fighting for 3 wildcard spots.
Yes.
So where not only are you looking at your team's schedule, remaining schedule, if they're in contention, you're always also looking at who are some of these other competing teams playing against the next 3 weeks. And a lot of them play against each other. So there's going to be a lot of tiebreaker scenarios. And the percentages are pretty wild to look at. There's playoff prediction machines. You can go on ESPN and some other sites and play around with it. So it's pretty fascinating, the different combinations. Paul, your Browns are sitting pretty good. I don't want to jinx them.
Yeah, please.
3 games left, but they're sitting pretty good right now.
Well, the Bears gave him a game.
They did. They helped them a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Take what you can get.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if the Browns can make the playoffs this year with the amount of injuries they've had, Kevin Stefanski either way, he should be up for Coach of the Year. He's done a phenomenal job.
Yeah, he should. I mean, I think every game we have had at least one person injured.
Yeah. And the Colts, they keep finding ways to win.
Yeah.
They keep having injuries. I mean, last week, their number one wide receiver, Michael Pittman, goes down. Number one running back, Jonathan Taylor, goes down. Number two running back, Zach Moss, goes down. And they still find a way to beat the Steelers after being down 13-0.
Yes, yeah.
So,
We were at the Christmas party when that was on, and the boss's son was watching that game, keeping everybody updated.
And as a Browns fan, you were rooting for the Colts against the Steelers, probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really wanted it to end in a tie, but as long as the Colts won, we were happy, and they did. So.
Yes, it wasn't a good weekend as a Broncos fan. Not only did they get beat Saturday night, get beat badly by Detroit Lions, who are really good, but every team the Broncos needed to lose Sunday won.
Yeah.
So their playoff percentage chances went down quite a bit.
Yes.
So the Colts have a chance. I mean,
They do.
What's their likelihood percentage?
Pretty good. They got 3 remaining games, so this week they travel to Atlanta on Sunday at 1 o'clock. You can watch that game on Fox. You can also listen to it right here
Giant FM, of
on
course.
Giant FM.
Yep.
Pre-game, game, post-game.
Yep.
So the Colts are 8-6. They play at Atlanta, who's 6-8, who just lost to the worst team in football, the Carolina Panthers, last week. So you think they're going to be mad? It'll probably come down to an end, to the very end. Yeah, that's usually what the Falcons do. They're always in close games, but just a lot of times they're on the wrong side of those games.
Yep.
But after this game next week, then the Colts have 2 remaining home games: the Raiders and the Texans.
Yeah.
So it could come down to that last week, because right now they're in a 3-way tie for the division.
Yes.
It's just the Jaguars own the tiebreakers over the Texans and the Colts.
The last 2 or 3 years, the Colts haven't done very well in those last couple of
They
games.
have not.
Where they would have won, they've been in and they've lost.
Right.
So maybe this is different this
They're
year.
just finding ways to win, and I think a lot of Colts fans would agree with what I'm going to say here. Even though Anthony Richardson is the future, I think it was kind of a blessing in disguise for this team this year that Gardner Minshew's played the majority of the year, because I don't think this team would be 8-6 right now if Anthony Richardson stayed healthy. I could be wrong, but I still think it's his team next year.
Oh, absolutely.
But that'll be a good game, and then the Bears, like you mentioned, Todd kind of gave one away from the Browns, so their playoff hopes are pretty much done now. They didn't really have a high chance to make it anyways.
5-9, they don't deserve to be in.
That was kind of a
Gotta win
heartbreaker.
games.
They are 4-point favorites as they host the 3-11 Arizona Cardinals. This week that game's also Sunday on Fox, but it's at 4:25.
This is like a who cares game.
Yeah, pretty much.
2 losing records.
Draft pick game.
Is this like a national game since it's 4:25?
It'll be one of 3 or 4 games on.
Okay,
Yeah. So a lot of interesting stakes going on in the NFL world.
Well, that's Christmas Eve, so spend time with your family.
Yes, there you go.
Yes.
You can have it on in the background.
There you go.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who do
Yeah.
that. They'll, turn the radio on, listen to the Colts game,
Yep.
and while you open gifts.
Yeah, open gifts, play games, whatever you're doing, eating food, all the above. So that's it for pro sports. College sports, both Purdue and Indiana had wins last night. Indiana beat North Alabama, Purdue beat Jacksonville. Both games were pretty easily won
What you expect
by the home teams. Yeah, they took care of
this time
business.
of year. Yeah.
So now they're both off for about a week, and then pick up action late next week, and then it's
Big Ten.
Big Ten play. It's conference play the week after that. So it's going to be pretty fascinating. It's been an interesting college basketball season so far. A lot of upsets have happened. No real dominant team.
It's going to be crazy March Madness.
It
rolls
is.
around in 3 months.
It is. It'll be fun. We've got some tidbits this morning, Paul. We'll start off with a Christmas-related one.
All right.
On this day in 1882, the first string of Christmas tree lights were created by Thomas Edison.
Oh.
That guy was pretty brilliant.
You know, that solved a big problem from houses burning down with candles on the trees and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. On this day in 1894, the United States Golf Association, or better known as USGA, was formed in New York.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's one of the bigger golf organizations in the world, not just the United States. And they're in charge of the U.S. Open every year.
All right.
So they get the course ready. They try to make it as hard as they can. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And on this day in 2003, the New York Knicks hired Isaiah Thomas as president of basketball operations. Of course, he's a legendary Indiana Hoosier, and then was a Hall of Famer for the Detroit Pistons. playing career great. His coaching
This job
career,
didn't last very long.
his
did
head coaching career and his management career wasn't very good. He was head coach for the Pacers and the Knicks, and president of basketball operations for the Knicks, and then he was a college coach for Florida International for a little
forgot
bit.
about that.
It's just I was saying sometimes great players don't make great coaches. We see that quite often.
Yeah.
I went to an Indiana game recently, and in the pregame video, you know, they have kind of the fire up thing. There's kind of a segment of Isaiah talking to the crowd and firing them up. So
I still think he's pretty close to that program.
Yeah.
So which is always neat to see when legendary players they remember where they came from and what got them there.
Yep.
Well, we got some days today. Today's a mathematics day.
Yes.
Right up your alley there, Paul.
Sure.
I know. I just say that because I know last week you were complaining about math. So
So you didn't throw in a math trivia quiz?
I did not throw in any math.
I'm waiting for that.
Okay.
All right. I'll
It'll kick off in January.
It's
I'm
a
sure.
challenge out.
Yep, 2024.
Yeah.
It's for Father's Day.
Yes.
It's National Cookie Exchange Day. I can get on board with that.
Yeah, I can too.
National Short Person Day. I'm a short person, so I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
National Date Nut Bread Day.
Mm-hmm.
And National Flashlight Day.
All right.
So cookie exchange day. What's your favorite Christmas cookie?
I don't know what they're called, but they always come in that metal tin that your grandma always used to use her sewing kit after they were empty. Those cookies are my absolute favorite.
Those usually have like the shortbread cookies in them and then like different variety.
Yeah.
I like the frosted sugar cookies.
Yeah, I was
Those
gonna say
are
I
good
like
too.
sugar cookies in general and then put some frosting on it for Christmas.
Yep. And of course Oreos.
It's not really a Christmas cookie. Well, yes, they do.
Yeah,
I
they
see
have-
they got the
yeah.
red one.
They
The
got the
red
red
frost.
one.
They have more flavors
And
of
the little
Oreos.
Santa's on the
Yeah.
imprint on the chocolate cookie part.
The whole cookie aisle at the grocery store, I think, could be just full of Oreos if they really wanted.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
so many
Yeah,
flavors.
you could just have an Oreo aisle.
Yeah.
This inflation thing has scared me because you walk down that aisle and
Oh
they're
my
like
gosh.
$5, $6,
You're not
$7
kidding.
bucks.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I had coupons.
There
Yes.
you go. We got some upcoming events. Times Theater, like they've been the whole month of December, showing great holiday movies. They're showing Die Hard tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
So it is a Christmas movie related to, or
We discussed that last
Times
week.
Theater.
Yeah.
That's going to be at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Free admission thanks to Sutton's Bureau.
Okay.
So all the sponsors have done a great job in December. I think pretty much every movie has been free admission.
That's great. There's been a
Which
lot
is
of great
really neat.
selections. And I
Yeah.
think
And I know they had an orchestra there not
Yes.
too long ago, and that was paid for, free admission as well.
yesterday afternoon, I think they had my favorite Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life.
It's
Yeah.
a good one. That's a classic.
So Julie Schambarger's doing a great job
She
there
is.
and the board there. And
Yes.
Yeah.
there's bigger and better things to come.
It's hard to believe we're almost out of a year.
I know.
I
It
mean,
was, so yeah,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
December 9th, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was when the
When
marquee.
The marquee was
Was
Yeah.
that the marquee?
Yeah, we're coming up on a year in February, so that's kind of official.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
like a 100th year anniversary, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have big plans for 2024.
I'm sure they do. It'll be
More
exciting.
to come.
Be
Yeah.
exciting.
Have some flowers today.
Okay.
Wanted to give United Ministries flowers for delivering Christmas food baskets last Saturday.
Yep.
Thank you to the community for donations and to Joyce Schroff and her crew for coordinating the event and the deliveries. That's a great event for the community. And I think when she was here as a guest, more than 150 baskets were being distributed.
Yeah.
Is that what we recall?
Yeah, I believe so.
Also want to give flowers to Sophie McCall. She is the high school advisory board member on the United Way. She's a junior, and she led a silent auction at the high school earlier this week to raise $600 for United Way.
That's awesome.
So congratulations, Sophie. You did a great job. Speaking of United Way, flowers also go out to the employees of RTC, Woodlawn Health, Rochester Metal Products. They all recently completed employee pledge donation campaigns to increase the annual donations from each company. They did a great job. United Way total is now about $65,000, so they're still looking for additional donations. And if your employer hasn't ran a campaign yet, give Jenny Moriarty a call at 223-8989, or you can call me at the bank and we'll set one up for you, and we're trying to close down the campaign and get to our $100,000 goal this year.
Yeah, we'll give some flowers to our employer too, First Federal Savings Bank. I know our campaign was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, thank you, Tanner, for
You're
saying
welcome.
that. Money news. good day on the Dow yesterday.
Yeah.
Up 325 points. That was better than the 500 down the day before.
Yes.
But overall, December's been a great month. Up over 2,000 points. The reason for the Dow losing 500 points this week and kind of the up and downness I was reading about basically is everybody's going on holiday now, and there's low trading volume that creates volatility.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's better things to come. December's up. Let's carry that through 2024.
Keep the momentum going.
Banks open today from 8:30 to 5, and tomorrow 8:30 to noon. Of course, we'll be closed on Christmas Day, but we'll reopen on Tuesday morning.
Okay.
You can always bank with us all weekend long, no matter where you are or where you're traveling, through our online or mobile app. And our ATM is open 24/7 if you need cash, and anywhere you're traveling to. If you need cash, look for the MoneyPass network sign or go online and find out if there's an ATM nearby. And you also use your debit card at a lot of merchants to get cash back too. That's something that we kind of forget to bring up occasionally.
And you're talking about the mobile app. We also have Zelle through our mobile app, which
Yeah.
is person-person payment system. Everybody likes to give money as a Christmas gift, so
Yeah.
it's never too late.
You guys
Can you paying Paul a Christmas gift through
Yeah.
the Zelle then maybe?
Maybe if he gets the trivia question right.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll have to remember that, Paul, if we get it right. So we still have a lot of specials coming on. There's a lot of great things happening in the bank in 2024.
Yeah.
With a lot of new specials coming out. They'll all be for a limited time only, about some loan specials and deposit rate specials. But right now, we've got some really good deals. We are still offering the 10-month CD at 5.1% APY. We have a second mortgage special that's going on for a limited time, and act now to get that. Rate starting the low is 8.5% with 8.864 annual percentage yield, or annual percentage rate. I'm sorry, for qualified borrowers. There's also fixed and variable rates available. That's good for consolidating debt, maybe paying off some of the Christmas debts, or doing home remodeling. Contact one of our experienced mortgage loan originators. That would be Ben Dalton and Stacy Wilson. And by the way, they're going to be the guests next week on the radio show as we wrap up the year, talking about our mortgage products and services, and give you some tips about how one should apply for a loan and information you need to bring. So we look forward to that next week. We offer Simply Free checking accounts still, Simply Free business checking accounts, and you get a free gift. And the free gift is, Tanner brought that today.
You did?
Thanks to Paul's reminder.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You can see it on camera. It's a nice plaid pattern blanket throw to keep you warm this winter.
Yeah, it's a Mantalock velvet to Sherpa throw.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty warm.
Red and black, very, very comfortable it looks like. So you can get that by coming and opening your new account or referring a friend. We got a big announcement, Paul.
Okay.
For event coming.
All right.
Coming in 2024, after the beginning of the year, any bank notice that we send out will be available digitally
Oh, okay.
through our online banking application. So if you've signed up for e-statements, you will get those notices automatically. If you want to get those notices, then this includes the usual tax forms, the 1098 and the 1099. Just go on to the online banking app and sign up for e-statements, and you'll get those.
Yep.
So that's really big news for us to be digitally presenting our statements and notices to all our customers. It's a security thing too, because there's sometimes the hackers and the scammers out there are stealing things out of mailboxes. So, it's a good way to help protect yourself and be environmentally
Safer
too.
pay.
So that's coming in 2024. There'll be more announcements coming in the next week or two, and Tanner's doing a great job with some social media postings on it, so you can follow that.
Yeah, like us on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at FF Banking. Also, give our LinkedIn account a follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll be kept up with the latest Credit First Federal and announcements like the e-notice announcement.
So as our famous saying says, we're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best, and we believe we are. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines, and we are FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
Yep, and that makes us legal.
Now we have a guest, and the guest is me today.
Hey! Welcome to the show, Todd.
And my role is Executive Vice President of Operations and Technology, and I'm the bank's Information Security Officer. So, working in operations and technology, we have a great group of people and systems in place to make sure our customer and bank data remains secure. But there's always some tips out there in the cybersecurity world because there's a lot of bad things happening in the world. Unfortunately, I have to talk about that before Christmas, but we just want to talk about a few tips today to help keep everybody safe.
Yes.
And if you have any questions or comments or need any help with any of this, don't hesitate to come into the bank, talk to one of our local bankers. We'd be happy to help you out. First thing I want to talk about is our debit card. Debit cards get compromised a lot anymore, and unfortunately that happens through merchants and stores and things like that. We have an application in our mobile app where you can control your debit card.
Yes.
And this is a good thing. I'm opening that right now as we're standing here, and I want to hit some highlights of that. The best advice we can offer is you can turn your card off and on.
Yeah.
And I've done this before, and it's instantaneous. So, like if you're shopping in a grocery store, and you can turn it on right when you're going up to the checkout, your card will work, and turn it right off after that. That's how to protect your card, basically. The best way to do that. There's a cards feature at the bottom of our mobile app. Just click on that, and that opens up. And there's the first button really is to turn your card off and on.
Yep.
It allows you to sign up for Apple Pay. That's another secure way to do transactions. And if you go down further, you can look at spending insights of what activity you use on your card. There's some nice bar graphs there. But for security, there's a feature called Controls and Alerts. So you can set alerts on your card, so every time a transaction is done or every time a transaction over a certain amount, you'll get a notification on your mobile device that a transaction has happened. So that's a great way to kind of monitor your account and make sure there's no fraud happening on your debit card.
Yeah.
You can also manage travel plans, so if you're traveling, for the most part we have most countries turned off, and if you're traveling to another country, you can go turn that on. And even our protection systems, if you do transactions locally here, there's a rhyme and reason to that. But if all of a sudden we see a transaction in California, that may be suspicious, and you may get notified. Is this a real transaction or not?
Yep.
But sometimes you're legitimately traveling to California, so you can turn that on and say, "Hey, I'm traveling to California for the next week. Allow these transactions to go through."
It's a very easy process. You can do it right there, like Todd said, from your mobile app. Or if you don't want to mess with the mobile app, you can always call in, and one of our electronic banking specialists can help you with that too.
So we encourage people to use the cards feature of our mobile app, and the best devices that turn off and on your card when you use it. That's the best way to protect your card.
And you brought up Apple Pay. We also offer Google Pay, not through the app itself, but we also that does work with what we offer. And the cool thing about that is it has a technology called tokenization.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go use it as a merchant, if that merchant to get hacked by a scammer, they're not going to get your card number.
They don't know your card number.
They're going to get that unique token number. So.
And that token number changes every time you do a transaction.
Right. So one time,
if the merchant does get hacked, basically that information is useless because it was only for a transaction that happened yesterday.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Yeah. And Todd, you were talking about the feature being turned off for other countries, so if you're going to travel, turn that on. That also works online. I had gotten caught up in a scam. Thought that it wasn't a true, I didn't lose any money or anything because First Federal stopped everything, but found a website, tried to order some Christmas gifts off of it, looked legit. It was a .com website, everything else, and I typed in my card info and hit pay, and it pops up and says declined, and about 2 seconds later my phone starts ringing, and it was the fraud department. It was actually a company out of China, and they went, "This doesn't seem right. Was this you? Do you want to authorize this?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah, we do have drill systems behind the scenes working like that to try to protect our customers, and they do a good job of that.
Yes, absolutely.
You experience that.
Yeah.
So if you're in line or something like that, you may get a text or an email notification or even a phone call, depending on what information we have for you. We're trying to check the legitimacy of that transaction.
Yep.
And it's always good to respond to that, because if you plan on shopping the rest of the day, you need to let us know if that was legitimate or not legitimate.
And speaking of our debit cards do have a feature of the tap feature now. And I want to ask you this, you a question here, because I've been asked by multiple customers lately. Is there any safety feature with the tap compared to putting in the chip reader or sliding it?
It has kind of the same safety features of the chip card, basically, because the chip card protects the things like that. So, in reality, is you're not running your card through with the magnetic strip of having, your name, card number, and other information within the magnetic strip to process the transaction. I've read some things about this. It's virtually impossible to steal that information because it is proximity. So, like, you can't have somebody sitting out in the van trying to steal, the card because you tapped it. So it is safe.
All right.
Okay.
So the other thing we want to talk about today is phishing. Phishing is a big thing. 94% of malicious software or card compromises or customer identity happens from phishing attempts. And what phishing is somebody sends you an email, it looks legitimate. It could be even something like from Amazon or the IRS, and what they're saying, like for example, they want you to click on the hyperlink in there.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a little trick that everybody can use if they know this. If you take your mouse and hover over that hyperlink, it's usually blue, it'll show where it's really going. So if it is Amazon, it'll show Amazon. You have to be careful to watch the spelling, because sometimes they spell Amazon like A-R-N instead of A-M, so it looks like Amazon if you're taking a glance to that.
Yep.
If it shows that, it's legitimate. If it shows maybe 60, 70 characters of numbers and characters, it's probably not legitimate. If you click on that, if it is, they're trying to phish you and trick you, it could take you to a site that looks exactly like what you think it might be, like Target or Amazon or the IRS. What they want you to do is log in with your user credentials, your user ID and password. If you've done that, then you've given them your user credentials. Most people, unfortunately, use similar user ID and passwords. So if they have it once, they have it many times. So this may be your Amazon, but you may use it for Target, you may use it for Pizza Hut and everything. So that's the problem is if they have those user IDs and passwords, you probably have a card tied to that account.
Yeah.
That's a great way to find your card and get the account number and the card number and compromise your card. So if you get a link like that, like for example Amazon saying package could not be delivered. Well, first of all, did you order a package?
Right.
Well, this year everybody is.
Yeah.
But don't click on that link if you're worried about it. Go straight to the Amazon site.
Mm-hmm.
Another ploy that's going to happen really starting next month, excuse me, is the IRS is going to be, you'll get an email from the IRS saying, sorry Todd, you made an error in your tax return. But the good news is you're getting $300 more back than you thought you would.
Yeah.
So they give you a link to click on. You're putting your social security number in, a user ID and password. Well, you've given that person the keys to the kingdom.
Yep.
If there is a issue with the IRS, just go to the IRS site outside of that email.
Yes.
So look at every email with caution, basically. And is it legitimate? Look for misspellings, things like that. Because 94% of the hacks come from phishing emails. And that's where they're trying to trick you to do something they want you to do. And a lot of times they try to create a sense of urgency. For example, your online banking account has been compromised. You need to enter your password here. Well, just think about that. A bank would never ask you for that. In fact, we had a campaign recently where things that banks don't ask you, you're not going to get unsolicited calls saying from your bank or your financial institution saying your account's been compromised, give us your login and password and we can update it and correct it. If you get a call like that, hang up and you're worried about it, call the bank directly. Because they even do spoofing of phone numbers and things like that so that it'll look like it's coming from the bank or your financial institution, but that's things to be wary of. We always encourage people to check their account statements and look at their online transaction history to help identify unauthorized transactions. Using strong and unique passwords. The most effective way is to use a different password for everything you do, but that's next to impossible.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
make sure you use strong passwords. That usually includes capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, characters. Put some spaces in there. Even using dictionary words like Mary had a little lamb used to be like use more characters. Well, password hackers use software that will like put random words together to see if it makes a sentence.
Yeah.
And so you could use something like paper, car tire, gasoline. Those usually don't have anything in common. It's hard to create a sentence like that.
Right.
So use a longer passphrase. 12 to 15 characters. Over 15 is proven to basically be less hackable, but that's harder to remember. But don't use things like birth dates, dog names, cities born, because through your social media presence, you've probably disclosed all that through Facebook or something like that. And that's when you get questions on Facebook, you know, what's your favorite car? They're fishing for things like that, trying to create a profile for you.
Yep.
So just be cautious online also. A couple other tips: keep your devices up to date. The antivirus and malware will help protect you. If you're operating like with a browser and it's not been updated, like 5 versions behind, or your Windows has not been updated, you're at risk there. So keep those updated. And then practice safe online behavior too. So if you're in a Starbucks, for example, and this is nothing against Starbucks, they have great Wi-Fi, but don't do banking transactions or financial transactions on there.
Right.
Because there are people that sit like 2 tables over from you with a backpack that are stealing Wi-Fi signals and will utilize your information. So we don't want to scare everybody. These are just some great tips to practice safety, and there's no such thing as a free lunch. So you're not going to get, you know, from your uncle in a different country that they won the lottery.
Right.
Be skeptical of a lot of things, and when in doubt, call the bank and talk to people.
Yep.
Just use good common sense for the most part.
I know. I got a text with a hyperlink in it yesterday, and it was saying, you know, oh, due to your outstanding something or other, we've increased your limit. And I'm going, no, you didn't, because I don't have a limit on anything right now. I don't currently have any credit cards, and my bank isn't going to text me from a random number and tell me that. So no, thank you.
You're very wise, Paul. That's good things to do. Man. Those are good kind of words of wisdom. We'll not close with that, but we'll use that as just use common sense. We'll close with our trivia question today.
Yeah.
And our trivia question was the Christmas novelty single, The Chipmunk. I just gave you the answer.
Now I got a Zell. Now I got a Zell Paul.
Sorry about that.
Merry Christmas, Paul.
The question was, what Christmas song was the only chart topper until Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas in 2019? Christmas Don't Be Late, the Chipmunk song, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Jingle Bell Rock. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So what's the answer, Paul?
I was going to go with the Chipmunks anyway.
Okay,
so.
Well, great.
What year? Can you tell me what year?
Oh. 80s.
1958.
Okay. Hey, it had an 8 in it.
It did.
Yeah. We'll close with words of wisdom. First of all, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone. This is from Calvin Coolidge, former President of the United States. Christmas is not a time nor a season, but a state of mind. To cherish peace and goodwill, and to be plenteous in mercy, is to have the real spirit of Christmas.
I like those words of wisdom.
Merry Christmas, Paul.
Merry Christmas, Tom.
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas, Tanner.
Merry
We'll
Christmas,
see you
Paul.
guys again next week as we close out 2024 with you guys.
Yes, we do.
Or
Thank you.
2023. Wow, now I'm a year ahead.